welcome back to Eastwick Cottage Garden. Look who is here with us today. Jeff is here to help out. He is working on cardboard and compost for the front area outside the fence. He's laid down all the cardboard and he's getting ready to load up to put the compost down. We have Jasmine out here with us. She's been doing really well on the lead, so we're still keeping an eye out on what she's doing right now. She's kind of wrapping herself around the tripod, so that's why I'm keep looking down. But anyway, we have a lot of things we need to get done today. I'm really late in getting things planted. It's been quite a year. I want to clean out the pots back in the immersive garden space over here to make room for the tomatoes and peppers that are coming in. But I have some violas that I want to plant, so I think I want to put them out front somewhere. But anyway, there's a lot going on. A lot of things need to go in pots and in the ground. Jeff's here to help for the day. So we're going to turn the camera around and just kind of point out what we get done. It might be a multiple video occasion, but we'll see what we can get done today. So here's Jasmine. She was just dancing around on the compost pile. It's her favorite thing to do. So we're going to walk back here and kind of just do a little overview of what we want to get accomplished. I want to clean out the leaf debris in the orchard bed here. Clean up some of that. You can see that the Coronation Gold yarrow is doing its thing, getting ready to bloom soon. We have our Tequila Sunrise columbine right here, doing well. And this is Midnight Model Salvia coming up, doing great. And this is the Paint the Town Red Dianthus mixed in with some of the seedlings of the Japanese anemone. So I'm going to have to clean them out as well. But you can see that we have more action happening here. The popcorn drift roses are doing great. Down here we have the darker blues, the Lyrical Blue Salvia. And then we have Walker's Low Catmint doing its thing. And this is the Firestar Dianthus in this area here, coming up nicely. And of course we have another popcorn drift rose, and we have the Wormwood Silver Mound coming in. So just want to clean up this bed a bit, get some of the leaf debris out. You can see that the Canadice grapevine has really taken off, so hopefully we'll get a good harvest this year on that. And I want to walk you back this way and show you, I've already been eating some of these, but if you can look down in here, we have some strawberries happening, and they are tasting really good. So it's kind of nice to have strawberries early in the season like this. And we have a lot of extra down in this area here and over here. These are the wild blackberries, so we need to pull up the seedlings from that. That's going to be a constant battle, but we will persevere. They're not coming from these raspberries because the bottom is solid. And here I purposely put them in the container so they wouldn't spread. But you can see there's a lot of blooms on the blackberries. So hopefully we'll have a good harvest there. And we have some blooms happening on our rose called the Pilgrim. So that's going to be a nice display. We need to clean out all of this nonsense right here. We got some weeds growing in the back. We have all these leaves that we need to clean out so that things can breathe and have room. The honeysuckle, I don't know if you can see over this side, is starting to come into bloom. We have a lot of the peach. We have some peach leaf curl. But we have a lot of the peaches coming out. We're going to need to cover them up so that we will actually be able to get some. And the squirrels won't have them all. We want to clean up around here. Soon we'll be able to mow down all of this, which is the foliage from the daffodils in the orchard area. So clean up back here some so things can start breathing. And I'm going to cut back the goji berry bush, trim that up a bit, and you can see we have blooms on the mock orange, which are very nice. I can smell the honeysuckle clover here. It smells so good. And the mock orange. The combination of that is delicious. So coming back over this way, I want to do some work in the woodland garden area, clean some of that up. There's jasmine. And you can see here, this is providing such a wonderful scent. All the dianthus, an absolute favorite. If you've never smelled dianthus, I urge you to go to the garden center and see some in bloom and take scent of that because it's delicious. So you have all of this. This is the Bath pink that is coming into bloom. The Graham Ram rose is coming into bloom. And you can see back here, the knockout roses are blooming. And we also have the ice plant, or Delasperma, in the middle with the pink, and there's some more dianthus. And then we have the Amsonia Blue Star, Amsonia, coming in to bloom. Okay, so in our plant holding area, we have a lot going on here. This is from the garden center, from Gasper's, and also some order that I put in from Bluestone Perennial. And we still have some leftover things from Mastardes as well. So I'm going to be showing you more of these in detail, but we have some heuchera here. Over here, we have some grasses. Along here, there's some irises. One did bloom, and it looked great. I have some more candy tufts that I need to replace some things in here. We still have the violas that I need to put somewhere. We have, this is a superbena here. There's two. There's a blue one. Get the tag. We have this superbena cobalt that needs to get planted. We have some lantana. There are actually 3 plants in the pot, so I want to divide them up and spread them around. Jeff, for Mother's Day, bought me mandevilla right here. So I'm going to put that in the flower bed in the front for an annual effect. Here's some dianthus over here that need to get planted. I have some, it's blueberry custard, nemesia that we're going to put in some pots here. And then this is another superbena, but this is peachy keen. So we're going to put this in the back border, the steps borders. And then we have the diamond frost euphorbia that we're going to put in some pots around the garden space. So that's the plant haul that we have so far. That we need to get these in the ground and in pots, and then clean out some other pots back here so that we can make room for the tomatoes and peppers in this area over here. Hello everyone, it is a little over a week later since I started doing some work in the garden, and Jeff was helping with getting the cardboard and compost for the new flower beds in the front. We're realizing that I need to give myself a little bit more time to heal. For those of you who are new to the channel, I had surgery in February to remove a cancerous mass from my kidney, and it's taken me a little bit of time to rally back from that. So I decided this weekend that I'm just going to do what I can do and probably not film as much of my actual work, because it takes a lot longer to move the camera around, walk back and forth, a lot more energy spent, and I really want to enjoy the time that I'm out in the garden and doing the things I need to do to maintain it and keep it looking nice. So I'm going to probably do like more before and after shots of what we're going to do. So I was able to get out this weekend. We had some lovely weather after the crazy rain. I'll talk about more of that later. And I'm just going to walk around, do a little mini garden tour, and show you some of the things that have bloomed in the last week and some of the things I was able to get done last weekend. So in this back area here, I was able to clear out a whole bunch of the weeds along the fence line, and also trim down the goji berry bush a bit. So it was really, really wild and crazy. I wanted to keep it kind of flowy, but kind of keep it in check and get the growth that was down on the ground. Some of them were actually starting to root. The branches had come down and were starting to root in the ground. So I wanted to clear that up to give it some more air. As you can see, we have some blooms happening here. These smell really, really pretty. The bees absolutely love them. I decided I don't like goji berries, so we're just going to leave these for the birds. And over here, we did some of the same thing. You can see here the foliage from the daffodils is starting to fade down, so this will be trimmed up later on after it turns brown a little bit more. We still have a lot of flowers on the mock orange or Philadelphus, which is kind of nice. They smell pretty good. They're kind of starting to brown up a little bit, but they're still really pretty. And we have most of the honeysuckle has bloomed out. It smells absolutely divine, especially at night when I'm bringing Jasmine outside at night for her evening constitutional. That whole air smells of honeysuckle, and she really likes it too. She just sticks her nose up and she starts sniffing the air. So it's really nice. We have a whole bunch of peaches on this peach tree that I need to come in and thin them out. And I mentioned that before. I am happy, I did talk about that we do have some peach leaf curl, but not nearly as much as we normally do, which I'm glad about. So I did do the treatments, 2 treatments this year. I didn't get the 3rd one in, but I did do 2 treatments this year to treat and prevent the peach leaf curl, and the leaves, for the most part, are looking really, really good. So back in here, was able to clean out, as you saw in the video, a lot of the leaf debris in this area. And the Party Lights Mathis has really put on a bunch of growth this year. So looking forward to seeing what happens here. I did lose some plants all over the garden. I don't know how much, did you guys lose a lot of plants this year? There's a lot of things that I'm like, well, something's missing here. And I've just realized, like in the immersive bed, the scabiosa is totally gone. I think the winter that we had was just really, really crazy. But anyway, kind of got some air to the soil a little bit for these plants that are in here. And I see that the squirrels have decided they wanted to do some digging as well. And I'm looking over here. Jasmine has just dug a ginormous hole in the yard. I'm going to point this out to you guys in a minute. She's just, I don't know what she's digging for, but she's just dug a hole in the yard. Anyway, so here we have, and I think I need to, oh, this is bird poop. I think I need to put some fertilizer on this because these are kind of dull. But this is the rose called the Pilgrim. And it's in the David Austin rose family. And it is a climbing rose. But I think I need to give it a little bit of fertilizer. It needs some oomph, I believe. The leaves are a little bit yellow. So I need to take care of that. And all the flowers that we had on here are pretty much gone. So then the berries are going to be coming in soon. And you can see here, in this angle here, we still have some strawberries. I need to come and pick them. They have been yummy. I've been really enjoying them. And up in this area here, this is the orchard bed. And you can see that the Coronation Gold Yarrow is starting to open up and look wonderful. We also have a lot of the flowers here. This is Dianthus, it's key lime key lime pie. You can see the center of it is yellow, has that little key lime coloring in there, yellow-green coloring in there, and they smell amazing. I need to come in here and do some deadheading on this salvia. It's the Midnight Model salvia. Cut it back and let it reflush for the next go round. We had a ton of rain, like pretty much 3 inches or so of rain. This was actually totally full. It has been very dry for the last few days, so things have evaporated quite a bit. But I want to show you the rain gauge that my friend Melissa got me. The water has gone down quite a bit. It was almost at the top of the rain gauge. So, and I think we have a bee that kind of drowned in there. That's kind of sad, so I'm going to dump that out so no more bees go in there. But this flower bed definitely filling out and looking really good. We have a lot more of the dianthus open over this side. And we have the Lyrical Blue salvia intertwined with the Walker's Low catmint. I think it looks really pretty. And then we have the Firestar dianthus, and I can't remember what this one is called. I have to look at no, that's something else that didn't come back. Oh, my Delosperma did not come back. That's what's missing here. Well, that sign is right here. That's where that sign is. But this is also a dianthus as well, and it is looking lovely and providing a lot of color and wonderful scent. She's been digging holes. I'm thinking that she is hearing or smelling the grubs underneath the surface and just decided that that is something she wants. So we're going to have to do something about that. So back in this area, you saw me doing some trimming. I need to come in here and actually spray this bishop's goutweed. It is really getting out of control, but this was all the way up to here, so I trimmed this down. I'm going to come out and spray it with some Captain Jack's Deadweed Brew. It's a more natural option. The foliage on these daffodils is starting to brown up, which is good because then we could cut them down and this can be like a nice smooth area. Down here, back in this area, I did a little bit of trimming. I need to come and do a little bit more, but I did a little bit of trimming to get rid of some of the bigger weeds in this area and pulled down a bunch of the bindweed that was growing up in these trees are back here. But you can see here, this is Cafe Mocha, I think Cafe something, I'll put the name on. This is a heuchera, and you can see that it is blooming and looking lovely. And a lot of the ferns have come up. Here's one of the Japanese ferns here. And then we have the Shadowlands hosta here. And this is a Christmas fern back here. More Japanese ferns, painted ferns here. This is the foliage of the primrose doing well. The primrose have gone down. This is a heuchera called Electra. This is a heucherella that I can't remember the name of it. I have to look it up along with some weed grass. I have to look it up in my archives. But this is the cherry berry hosta back here. And this is another Japanese fern. We still have some of the foliage from the hellebores. This is the autumn brilliance fern back here. These ferns here were given to me by my friend Julie, and they're doing great. The Jack Frost Brunnera back in the back there is doing great, and we have the carex in the back there. So the roses have come out in all their glory. This is the rose that was my grandmother's. I call it the grandmom rose, and this is the best that it's looked in years. We did a hard prune on it, not this past year, but the year before, and it really enjoyed that. So, when you have roses, don't be afraid to cut them back. They will regrow. Especially if it's own root rose, if you could cut it to the ground, it's going to come back true. Other than that, you want to make sure you're cutting above the graft to make sure that you have the rose that you want. And the rain really got to the Bath's Pink dianthus, so I'm going to trim all this back, see if we can get some flushing. But all this back here is bishop's goutweed that I really need to take care of. It's really bad this year. It's kind of taking over everything. So, and this was the dianthus that had the dead in the middle of it, and as you can see, it's greening up and it is blooming. So really happy about that. I'm going to walk in here a bit in the immersive bed. You can see the lavender. This is phenomenal lavender, and it is doing really great. Here comes jasmine. And, oh, it smells delicious. I'm not going to go too far in here because I don't want her to follow me in, but I did do some cleaning up back here. I did some trimming of the ivy in the background there and cleaned up some of the cuttings that we had done earlier in the season. And you can see here that there's some little buds on the Shasta daisies, and the Amsonia blue star is really blooming. I have one back in the back here, one scabiosa that survived. The rest of them are gone. Also, my Paquito orange Agastaki, there's one here, and one here, but there were 3 on the other side here. They're gone as well. This has been a really tough year, really tough year. But you can see all the dianthus here is blooming, and this is more of the key lime pie dianthus. And there's another angle of the grandma rose with all its beautiful, beautiful coloring there. I did clean out the pots a little bit from the pansies that were in here, and I'm going to go in here a little bit. This pot back in the corner is totally cleared out, so I'm going to do the summer arrangement for that. You can see here that we have the Penstemon mystica is blooming, looking really nice. And we have, this is a phlox here. I can't remember which one it is, but the phlox here that just started blooming. I just noticed that this morning, looking out the window, that one's started blooming already. And we have a lot of height back here on our apricot fudge Asiatic lily that is coming up. So we'll do a little bit of a tour later on, deeper into the immersive bed, when we can kind of have Jasmine in check. Oh, also, I never got down to cutting this rose back, but I think it's okay. It's actually put out quite a lot of blooms, and the leaves look really healthy. So I think, you know, we did that hard cut back on all the roses the year before last, and, well, last year, and I think that it proved to do well. In the back here is my little lime hydrangea that has put on quite a bit of growth in the past year. This is its third year, and it's done very well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that does. I also want to show you here that the Tequila Sunrise Columbine is doing wonderfully in this flower bed. There's a little one back here that's not doing as great, but we'll see what it does. And then we have our Paprika Heuchera that is looking great. We still have some blooms on our English daisies, which I'm happy about. I was also happy I was able to get in here and trim back the dried reeds from the zebra grass, so it's going to give it a chance to come out in all its splendor and be beautiful this season. Coming around to the long border, I actually have Jasmine in tow here, so she can't get into any more mischief. We planted the grasses, and I will put the names of everything on here. We planted 3 grasses. These are going to get to be about 3 feet tall in bloom and have pink plumes on them. So that'll be a nice movement in the garden in color for the autumn. Also planted 3 Heuchera here. Once again, I'll put the name on, which I think they look really good, along with the Livanese roses back here. So it's going to be kind of a nice, fun element to have the 2 of them together. We also planted some dianthus here. This one is a yellow and pink one, and there's more of the grass. And here, down here, is a yellow one, yellow dianthus, so it'll add some color to the flower bed throughout the season. And this is another of the Livanese roses. So there's 2 over here, and then 1 in the front bed that I'll show you in a minute. We're just going to come down and look through the flower bed here. Planted the 3rd grass down at the end in here, down in this area here, to give some movement to the flower bed. And this is I can tell you what this is because the tag's here. The Alfred Sisley rose. Now this is supposed to be kind of variegated petal, but I don't know. I think it's just drop dead gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. So they're going to be more of like cream and this orangey pink color. But for now, this is the first bloom that we had on it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it does later on. So in this flower bed, we have the lemon thyme that has gone to bloom. I'm letting it do that. I'm not using it for any culinary purpose. I'm using it for its scent and its looks. But I can't believe how big this and look at this ginormous purple sage plant has gotten. They were tiny when I put them in. And also the barbecue rosemary here as well, doing really well in this flower bed. And the sedum is starting to bloom here. This is wildfire sedum, but it's starting to bloom and it looks great. It looks really nice along with the Veronica First Glory and in combination with the other Living Easy Rose that we have here. So the other two in the flower bed across the driveway are going to be like this. They'll get to be about 4 or 5 feet tall and about 3 or 4 feet wide. So it'll be kind of nice. In here, you can see the big mounds of the chrysanthemums. I did a preemptive holding them back. So I put little barriers on there to hold them up because they tend to flop over. So hopefully that'll prevent that this year. And they'll look really nice. So the dianthus here was looking really, really pretty. I think I could put some footage in, but they're finished with their first flush, so I'm going to come in and cut them all back. And then we have the coreopsis here, which is starting to bloom and look great. And then back here, we had a whole bunch of blooms, but there's just a few left of the Contrast in Styles iris. I'm going to try to go around and get a better picture of it because it's really, really, really pretty. And on this side of the flower bed, we planted, as a temporary measure, some annuals in here. So we planted the Cobalt Superbena. I planted one here and one here. And here is the Bandana Cherry Lantana. So I planted 3 of those. Here, here, and here, and they should get very big. And I also planted the Mandevilla that Jeff got me in this area as well to add some color. And here we have our heuchera. We have the Delta Dawn interspersed with the paprika, and they have really flushed out this year and looking really, really good. This one's already blooming right here. So I want to come here and show you, we have the geum that had a fantastic display. I'm going to trim that back so hopefully it can do some reblooming as well. But we have the Shirley Temple, and this one I know is Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple peony. I still don't really like the smell, but that is there. It looks really pretty. I actually cut back a bunch of flowers, had a bunch of blooms on it. And then this one, I'm going to have to put the name on because there's 2 that I can't remember which one is which. But here they are, looking really great. This is the first time this one has bloomed, and it looks amazing. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And then we have the Veronica First Glory here, getting ready to bloom in this flower bed. I still need to do a little bit more cleanup in this area. Here we have flower stalks on the daylilies. Here, these were my grandmother's as well. These are, for anybody who's new here, this flower bed was grossly abused. It got run over by somebody cutting grass, not that I hired, but from before the fence was here. The people that lived here before, the neighbor hired somebody who came in and just decimated this whole flower bed. And there were big trees here. There was a giant oak tree and mulberry tree, so it was totally covered in shade. And these, I did not plant these. These came back. My grandmother planted these eons ago, and they came back. So these are the ever-living daylilies. We also have, and I keep forgetting that these are here. These are back and black sedum. I might have to move these, but there's 3 in the bed. We'll see how they do. But anyway, they're here. So this is the other peony that's here, and I will get the name for that. But this is also the first time that this has bloomed. So really nice. It's really nice to look out and see all this color in the front flower bed area. because I'm actually on the other side of the fence. Jasmine is tied up to the railing. There's a lead there, so she can't go anywhere. So we put out, well, we meaning Jeff, put out the cardboard and compost for this to make flower beds all the way across the front. And so far so good. We had massive rain and we didn't lose a whole lot. This is down here is about all that we lost. So hopefully it will stick and stay. And I plan to plant a bunch of stuff in here, and hopefully that will provide a root system and hold the compost in. We have the greenspire euonymus. We have 4 of them, 2 surrounding the fence and then 1 at each end of the property. And this is the Woolerton Old Hall rose that is putting out blooms already. I'm very excited about it. I'm going to train this onto the fence so that it could cover the whole fence. It gets to be about 15 feet. So to cover the whole fence in roses. That's my dream anyway. And then down here we have Fruity Petals, which is also looking great. This one has some powdery mildew though, so I don't know what's going on with that. I have to kind of take care of that, but the colors on this are really, really pretty. So this is also a climbing rose. So I'm going to train it up against the fence and see what we get on that side. So there's also a Woolerton Old Hall at the other end, but it accidentally got cut down when they were cutting grass. That's okay, it's coming back and it will be okay. Once again, its own root, so it will come back true. So I'm going to come back around here and show you more of the contrast in styles iris. So pretty. Very beautiful. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this does in future years. And this is Sunjoy Gold Pillar Barberry. Very picky. I'm going to trim it back so it's not up along the fence line, up along the walkway line. Give it a little trimming. I'm coming back around the house, back to the orchard bed. I wanted to show you that this grapevine has really taken off. I really don't know what I'm doing with grapes. I'm going to have to read up on it. I don't know if I need to trim some of this back because it seems like a lot. So we're going to read up on that and figure out what to do with this. But I also wanted to show you that Lazarus has had his cage removed because he has grown too big for it, which I'm very excited about. So this is the little piece of fig twig that my friend Dodie gave me, and I named it Lazarus because it's died. I thought it's died several times, but it keeps coming back. And this is the biggest it's ever been, so hopefully we'll get some figs. Looking forward to that. For the deck steps beds, I think I'm losing my false cypress here. So I'm going to have to call the company and see if I could get a replacement for that. I am going to be cutting back. This is Cat's Pajamas Nepeta, but I'm going to be cutting it back because you can see it's growing up in the center. So I'm going to cut back all of the old foliage and let the new foliage reflush. This is Fresco Apricot Echinacea coming up, and this is a Tiny Wine 9 bark. This one has a ton of blooms on it. This one over here doesn't have so many. They are coming in, but not as fast as the other one. Again, these are sister beds, and we have our Peter Cottontail yarrow that there was one on the other side, and I think I killed it. So I think I cut it back and it has a hollow stem, and we had all that cold weather. I think it killed the root. So I won't be doing that again. I need to see if I can find another one because I really, really like it. And this is Azure Rush Geranium. And this one is blooming really well. There's one on the other side and it is coming along nicely. So this is what the Chamaecyparis or false cypress is supposed to look like. And the other one clearly is not doing well at all. That's a wrap for our preliminary May garden cleanup and partial planting. So I'm going to be going to a garden center this weekend to get some more things, and specifically things for the vegetable pots. So I'm going to pick some tomatoes and peppers. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your families are well. I hope you're being safe and your families were safe in the crazy weather. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.